Yo, what is up, sexy beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the Gewehr and the Sheiva on round 50 and talking to you guys about them and seeing which weapon is a superior weapon. So let's go ahead and get this shit started. So I originally was going to do the Kar 98 versus the Sheiva, but I was like, that's completely unfair. The Kar 98 is the best weapon in zombies. Like, if I really wanted to make the video fair, I would put the Kar 98 up against like the Thunder Gun or like the Wave Gun or like any of the bows or staves. Like, that would be a fair video. But up against the Sheiva, the Kar 98 is just too overpowered. So I decided to put it up against the Gewehr, and that's what we're going to be talking about first. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. So the Gewehr, when you upgrade it, becomes a G115 compressor, and upgraded, it really doesn't carry that much ammo. Like, when you actually upgrade this weapon, the amount of ammo it carries, and just has in general, doesn't really increase that much. Like, it barely gets a raise. It's going to carry 170 in stock and 12 in the magazine. And that's really not that much ammo compared to like all the weapons in zombies. Like if you laid them all out and said, here, look, here's the ammo for each weapon. This weapon is definitely going to be on the lower end for total ammo. It really does not carry that much. And it's really not the world's most powerful weapon, and even when you upgrade it, it's still going to be semi-auto. So this weapon is not that good against dogs either. Like, this weapon is the complete opposite weapon of what you want against dogs. Semi-automatic weapons are not really that good for them. And on round 50 against zombies, this weapon's going to take you a couple shots, and what I mean by a couple, I mean a lot. It's going to take you a lot of shots to actually kill a zombie. It's not something that I would recommend. Now, you might see me have a lot more ammo in the actual video than what I said it actually carries. That's because I did use the give all command, which gives me all the weapons in the game and a lot of ammo for those weapons. It's not a mod or anything, it's like actually in the game. And the reason I did it was just because it made recording so much easier to where I could just switch weapons instead of having to actually go and get another one. So final verdict for the Gewehr, on round 50, it's not worth it. Like, honestly, this is definitely not worth it. And I mean, it is a starting weapon, so really what do you expect? But it is definitely lacking in ammo and lacking in power. Alright, so now let's talk about the Sheiva, or when you upgrade the Cumulus Struggle. It's going to carry 30 in the magazine and 270 in stock, so it does carry a little bit more ammo than the Gewehr. And I would say unupgraded, both these weapons, you know, since our starting weapons are pretty bad, but I would have to give the advantage to the unupgraded versions, to the Gewehr. I feel like that's the better weapon to have on early rounds. But on round 50, the Sheiva is actually somewhat decent. I'm not going to say it's like the world's greatest weapon, but it's not the Gewehr. It's actually a pretty decent weapon, and it's going to get you some kills over time. It's not going to be anything fast. It's not going to be anything like, oh my god, look at that weapon, that's the Kar 98. It's not going to be like that or anything like that. But it is going to get you some kills. As long as you aim for headshots, eventually you're going to start to see the zombies go down one by one. And with the Gewehr, I feel like you'd be shooting one zombie for a long time, and eventually that zombie dies. And then you'd have to do the same thing with another zombie. But with a Sheiva, I feel like as long as you have them all grouped together, eventually they're just going to start dying one by one. So I'm going to have to give the advantage on round 50 to the Sheiva. It carries more ammo. I think it does more damage. Again, I don't have the exact stats for damage in front of me, so I'm going to go ahead and say the Sheiva does more damage. So it's the better weapon to have on round 50. You're eventually going to start to kill more zombies with the Sheiva. Now, it does help that both these weapons are wall weapons, so you can kind of go back and get ammo as much as you want. But the Sheiva carries more in the magazine and carries more in stock, and I think more in the magazine is much better, because I would much rather have 30 than 12, and especially depending on which map you're playing. Like, if both these weapons were in every single map, I would much rather have the Sheiva to use against dogs than the Gewehr. I would much rather have the Sheiva to use against the Panzer than the Gewehr. So the Gewehr is a pretty decent weapon on early rounds. I think it's better than the Sheiva on upgraded, but once you upgrade these weapons, I'm definitely going to have to give the advantage to the Sheiva, especially on round 50. So I'm very curious to know, which weapon do you guys prefer? Not which weapon do you guys think is better, just which weapon do you guys happen to prefer more? So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.